Okay, let's go ahead and call ready to order. We're good. First of all, you've got in your packets the September board meeting minutes and everything. Hope you got a chance. If not, take a quick time to look through it. If there's any corrections or any changes, so otherwise I will have a motion to approve it as written.
And I would suggest a motion to approve the minutes. Second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Treasurer's report.
I can do that.
Thank you.
There really isn't a whole lot to go over on your financials. On the income side, you have some CD interest. And you have interest from your checking account. On your CDs, you just switched the First Security Bank CD from 250,000 to 248,000. So that's showing on the balance sheet. The new CD for 248,000. And that is a 7-month CD. On the expense side, you've got payment to Jeremy Hogan, who doing some work on our websites, and he also did some work on your website for you, some updates on that. So there was a payment of $90 to him. Then you have your accountant, the Evergy bill, QuickBooks, and your state fee. And that is it.
Questions on the financials?
Make the motion, we approve as presented.
Second. Moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All
So-
opposed?
One other thing, sorry,
No, that's what.
on the financials, your CD with mutuals is set to mature on the 4th of November. And so I went ahead and I got some quotes on the CD rates. It's a 1 year at $250,000. And I got the rates, and right now mutual is the highest on the percentage. But they said that we should probably wait until the 4th to get rates, because they probably are gonna go down and they'll fluctuate. So they may not be the same as what they're telling me now. So I will send that out again on the 4th of November, because we have 10 days from the 4th to do anything with that CD. So
Given
I
the
just
fact-
got ahead of myself.
Given the fact we changed one from 250 to 248, change this one, 250, 248 too.
That's up to you guys. This one is a 1 year CD.
The purpose of that is to keep it, that and some interest under the $250,000 FDIC.
Right. Sure, we're partners in here with the banks and everything, so let's change that to 248.
Okay, so you wanna change that one to 248 as well?
Yeah.
Leave it for a year?
Just as a point though, if you have another CD with mutual already at two.
So we have two.
Yeah, two of them at mutual, so it's not really gonna matter. You're already over
You're right,
50.
you're already the limit.
Oh, okay.
So either you have to move this one away from mutual, or you have to
Thank you for catching
take the
that.
pledge it.
Thank you. Okay.
250 is all you're covered
It
for,
doesn't matter.
per tax ID.
If we're going back
Unless
to
they
the
pledge.
mutual. But we just, let's keep this discussion.
So I
in
will,
Yeah.
yeah,
Once we.
I'll reach out to you all for the 4th of November.
Not so sure that.
That one should be already pledged if you have
May
over
already be.
250. They may have it, I just don't know.
They should. My old banking has been 5 years since, or 6 years since I've been in the bank, but they
And I'm
be
pretty sure-
required to pledge a quasi-governmental or governmental agency.
I'm sorry, who did the second?
Pardon me?
Who did the second? Financials.
David, you made the motion.
David, okay, thank you.
To format.
Thank you.
Sorry if I jumped the gun.
No, go ahead.
All right, moving forward then, I guess we have Lisa. Didn't skip this one.
So you all have the September projects and leads. In there, we had a pretty active month. October has increased, it's just crazy, which is a good thing. Porch light, Project Porch Light, this was a client looking for 150 to 200 acres. And their high water usage, so unfortunately, we just didn't have that kind of shovel ready part ready to submit. The project OP was for another existing building. I recorded that request so we can have that tracked on your chart on the back. And Project Intelligence, this was one where I reached out about one project and to see if it was a possibility to the Kansas Department of Commerce. And Paul Hughes said, no, but we've got this other client that's looking for this kind of situation, which was a site search for a large property that can provide large power and water capacities by 29 or 30. So right now we're conducting some utility inquiries for the Tailgate Ranch, which is the large property in the southern part of the county. Did you have something
Did you weren't involved with George on the
on the?
Evergy conversation about power that
Yeah.
site they wanna put in?
I've had some other discussions that have, given me information about that. So I'm tracking that information. At this point, it's confidential, but I not been directly involved. But yes, so as we understand that big tailgate range, that's was a total of 2,000 acres from the backside of Hills Pet Nutrition all the way across over to the other side of I-70, just a little bit. And we understand that there's a little over 450 acres just south of Hills Pet Nutrition that's under option.
Yep.
So, and other than that, I think there's a little property next to I-70 that might be still possibly in discussion, but there's still a lot of acreage left. And that's for developers, they like that because it's contiguous, it's all owned by the same people. They don't have to deal with a lot of different owners, so I don't, if that would be a big selling point. Project Triple Site. This is a European chemical manufacturer looking for 25 acres on a greenfield site. We submitted the Leavenworth Business and Technology Park. That is, already done. And Project Crosstalk. And I did work to explore, try to find, we've got a couple of new larger properties, one in Lansing and one in the county that are available, and I've been working with the people that are representing those properties. I tried to see if one of them would be eligible to be submitted for this Project Crosstalk. Unfortunately, we just don't. What we've learned is we need to learn a lot more about the utilities on those sites. Unfortunately, a lot of these projects are looking for shovel-ready utilities already in, maybe just, connection needed or something, and unfortunately, these just didn't fit, so we were not able to submit those projects. On ongoing projects, I would say a couple. Project Brown, just about fourth way down. I just continue to have about weekly, sometimes every other week call with the developer on this. And right now it's in the very preliminary stages. They're talking with the city of Tonganoxie. And so that just continues. Project Wolf Creek, the last I heard, this is the one where the client in the energy industry, I've lost it. It was because it's public now. The one that is going to put a battery storage system in the southern part of the county. Do you remember the name of that company? Energy.
Oh, I can't. I know they're meeting with people down that area now.
Yes. So that's what I talked to Beth, the project lead on that at the state, and she said that they had scheduled some meetings and they were gonna let me know when those were. So a battery storage system, they are their own storage systems in connexes type thing, and they are located, they put them next to substations, and they draw some of the energy when the substation is from producing energy not being used, and then allow it to be used when the substation is being used a lot. So it's sort of a redundancy kind of thing. And so we did also receive interest from another company last month that was looking around at not a specific project, but are there projects that would be open and available for them for that kind of thing. So I just find that interesting that, energy is the big topic.
Yeah.
Any way we can add the capacity, both the communities and the energy companies and developers are all looking for ways to expand that. Finally, I'd say Project River on the back, that one, just continue conversations with that developer. And they're still in the funding efforts. This is a really large project and it just is gonna take time. So they were hoping to know something a little bit more in November.
Energy plant is in energy generation.
All right, so, as far as other items to talk about, as I mentioned, October continues to prove very high activity in projects. I got 7 so far in October, of which 6 are active. 2 of them, I've submitted the level of business and technology part, the others that I'm working on, and Mary's even helping me because we're a little overwhelmed with everything. So she's given me some help on that, and we're looking for available properties for these projects. And we have been, LCDC has been really busy trying to work with or meet with candidates that are running for office. We think that's gonna be key in making sure people understand what LCDC is, what 4040 does, and how they impact the community. So we've had, as once tomorrow's meeting is done, we'll have had 6 meetings. Sometimes they're with me and a candidate, or sometimes with some of our executive committee, or they meet them on their own. And then marketing. So in September, I attended the SIOR Development Day. That's the day in which a bunch of industrial developers get together in the Kansas City Union, KC Union Station. And there's tons and tons, thousands of people that walk around, and it's a chance to network and get to know people in that industry, industrial and commercial, I should say. And we chose for the first time to go ahead and rent a booth instead of just walking around, to see if maybe that would draw some more interest into our, about our community. I'm going to be honest and say, if I had 2 dedicated people where we could trade off, and one could walk and one could stand and talk with people, it would work perfectly. I did have some of our, a couple of executive committee members that did come here and there, but they had their other jobs to do. They needed to walk around with their companies. So, unless I have 2 of us to do that, I would say I would not recommend we do that again. And then just go and attend and walk around and talk to people. That's what I would do. But you never know if you don't try it.
So are you suggesting that next year, if you could get a commit, all the executives on a committee to go down there with you, that
Oh,
would
yeah.
be worthwhile?
Yes, I do think that would be worthwhile, because you not only get to go walk and stop and talk to people, but you're also, giving that extra opportunity for people to stop and talk to you.
Oh, I'm sorry, we didn't make ourselves available.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
It was our first time, and I didn't know how this was gonna, work out. But that's just something I gleaned from being there.
We'll find this year from now, that of your reservations,
Okay, absolutely.
this is somebody, some police have stepped up, I think we could find somebody.
Okay,
Or a second staff person, which you also mean, right?
yes, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I thought you were going, not asking if.
If we have a second staff.
I wasn't sure where that was
Yeah.
situated,
Yeah.
so I didn't want to
Yeah.
put you under any
Yeah.
pressure over there.
That would be good. I have attended 2 Team Kansas trips. We are investors with Team Kansas at the $5,000 level, $5,000 a year. That gets us 6 different events. And so they happen to all land in October, so I have 3 total. So I did 2. One was in Nashville. This is a market that is a newer one for Kansas City. And then I went to the one in Indiana just this week. Indiana's was extremely well attended, because they did it at the same time, same place where Industrial Asset Management Council's conference is. This is a big conference where a lot of industrial developers and end users attend. So what we did, it was really interesting. I've never done this before. That the state people invited site consultants that they knew were attending this conference. And then we also had a group of us Team Kansas people, communities from Kansas, standing as they were leaving their sessions at the conference with our big Kansas Commerce, signs, and directing them to the group so we could walk together over to the restaurant where we all met and sat. and talked and networked, and then the state gets up and talks about our community. And typically, the communities get to stand up individually and talk about our community. Unfortunately, there were over 50 people at this dinner, so it just wasn't possible that night, but typically we do get to do that. But it was a great opportunity and very well attended. And we heard from a Texas person that they lost several people to us, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so, because we lose projects sometimes to Texas, so that's really good. Upcoming, I've got a Team Kansas, as I said, my third one next week in Chicago. That's usually well attended, and the Lieutenant Governor, David Tolan, will be at that one. And then I've got one final conference in Florida. I'm going to one called Economics that I looked into, never been to. Kind of over the last 3 years, I've tried to test the market and see, or test and see which conferences are most beneficial, that, where I get more one-on-one or opportunities with those site consultants and developers. And this one actually does put you in the room one-on-one with some site selectors. So that was why I chose this one. So we shall see. And I've heard from several people that I've chatted with and my colleagues that it's a really good conference and gets you a lot of opportunities. Business retention and expansion, as you know, we are kind of doubling up. One of the things that since Diana has left, we did not want to let slide are those programs that help our existing companies with a lot of the training, with some of the sales tax things that sales tax when they are doing improvements. So right now I'm working with a Leavenworth company that on a Kansas industrial retraining grant. This is because they're spending a couple of million on a new piece of equipment that will expand their products as well as their market. And so I'm helping them with that grant application. I think at the moment I'm okay, done.
Any questions for Lisa? Moving forward, even though it's under her, we've got a couple things here. First of all, the Travis Pattenberg. I won't say fiasco, but we're all aware we moved that and we're moving actually faster than I thought we would move on it. You've all had a chance to look at the paperwork, I assume, with regard to the clawback provision, and we intend to move forward with that. Looking for a vote here today from everybody involved in that. I don't think there's any issue with the board came back with the information that I was relying on. The gentleman with all the expertise and whatever. I didn't see any problems with it. And all we're doing is we had a piece of property under which when we sell it to them, they're obligated to building up a particular time frame. If they do not do this, and we have a fallback, where we get the lot back at the same price we paid for, plus a few extra expenses. And it wasn't due until April. I suggested earlier this year that since he can't get through planning and get approval to build a building in that time frame, let's go ahead and ask him. He seemed positive about it, so he asked our lawyer to go ahead and prepare the paper building. So the idea is we're gonna get that property back and we can market it that much sooner.
Yeah.
Did they pull that work? Or do we need to approve the engagement agreement first?
I think, so, yeah.
Okay.
You want me to make the motion?
Oh,
Yeah,
I'll make the motion.
I
to
was looking for
proceed.
discussion.
Okay, well. I'll make the motion. And we can have a discussion.
Need a second?
What's your motion,
Second.
David?
A second.
To approve the
Engagement.
engagement letter from,
What, Colton?
yeah. I think it's pretty clear cut. He's the one that did the sales, so it ought to be pretty easy coming back.
That's for the contract.
But I think that the public needs to know too, if we get the opportunity, let them know that we put clawbacks in these, make sure they're knowing what we ask them to do. So that's the only leverage we have, or the only gift we have is the reduction of the price. It doesn't come for free though.
Yep.
So, and we've had some interest in it, I believe at one point, somebody wanted to part equipment on it, we kind of shot that down because that wasn't gonna help us at all in the business process. So it didn't work. All right, Moving on then, the next one is an engagement letter.
Did you vote?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
All right, all in favor of the motion? Any opposed? Motion carries. Thanks, guys.
Legal.
Okay, the next one was an engagement letter. Right on.
Contract.
Oh, contract, we gotta do that too?
Oh,
I thought that
You just did.
you
just did-
do
you
it
just did.
together or just the engagement letter?
They just did the contract. The engagement letter for.
Are you talking about the engagement letter with Mark Coulter? That's a separate
That's a
issue.
separate
Yeah.
issue.
I think we just went out of order that with your
On the agenda.
documents. The only thing that we needed you to do for the Travis Pappenberg property was to approve the sale of, approve the
Sale of.
contract, the sale contract.
You're right.
Tim Gerard,
Yes, I did check for the Pattenberg bank. I'm sorry, so that one.
and these are prepared by Tim Gerard.
Okay,
Yes.
Just a-
Tim Gerard, for those of you that don't know, is a lawyer that you all approved, that the board approved to
He did the
engage.
original transaction.
Yes, he
Yeah.
did.
Okay, that sort of thing makes it easier for everybody involved.
Right.
If we could do that. And my last thing here under leases, is engagement letter with a lawyer. Once again, this goes back to Mark Coulter, who's got some, forward ties with the, Kansas City Port Authority and everything, who's gonna help guide us through this period of time where funding has become a difficulty. He's worked with other port authorities to work through this. We're engaging him once again at the direction, the county commissioners. Go find funding on our own, and, he's got some insight there. Contracts there.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
So Doug and I and Greg,
I think Greg was
we
here.
met with him, Lisa, we had a meeting with him. Can't remember when that was, but anyway, the guy specializes. In Port Authority work, he worked with Hudson and
Stafford County.
Stafford County. Up there, was quite knowledgeable of the goings on in Kansas City. And I think he has some ways to help us get some funding. I'm in favor of this, but I want to tell you all, it's not gonna be immediately. I think it's gonna take us some time to build a foundation of what he thinks we can do.
He also worked for one of our legislators out there too, one of our national legislators for a number of years. So he's got some political ties.
Yeah.
I think that could help us. Since the port authorities are really a state statute, as opposed to local statute and everything, there may be some opportunities there. And he's tied into that whole thing too. But once again, we're looking for expertise beyond the limits of what we have sitting here at the table, what we have kind of commission on.
Absolutely. And how can we leverage? Our group that we have here, you know, what is the best thing going forward for us? We even talked about, is it the best, structure, between them? Port Authority and LCDC. So I don't know if he's gonna solve all those problems, but at least it gets us a conversation going.
So,
Yeah, well, the funding would solve all those problems. So yeah, very knowledgeable guy, knows the Kansas City market pretty well, knows the problems in the Kansas City Port Authority issues that they have as well, kind of the battle between the, kind of the individuals, I guess, and
we had some interesting
and the
stories.
government officials, so. Only thing I wanted here was some cap on what we were getting into, so we knew what the. You know, if we spend $7,500 a year on this to kind of build it to where we need to go, was kind of what I was looking for. I don't know how well he really addressed that as far as the fees, but
Down here towards the bottom of the front first page.
yeah, it's all.
And as we understand, $3.75 an hour is pretty low, and he does that specifically for Port.
right.
Well, I think it's important that we do, first of all, that no matter what we do it right. And somebody who knows how to do things correctly, that we're following the rules. We're being public, we're getting it all out, making sure that everything we do is correct, so we can't foul anything. So.
Well,
if
most
this
of the
guy-
time we don't know about too. I mean, we
I
got
think
lots
it
of
helps.
people in this room, but at the same time, he's done this before. And lets the people think I'm, my mind is open to learn something, so we see, we spin our wheels right, and then
That's kind of where I was at. Well, that's.
I totally agree.
Well, and, a year from now, if we take a look at it, we're not getting our dollars worth out of it, certainly terminated, but I think we found a qualified individual who can help us. Well, short of somebody moving into our area, and most certainly, board that's got that expertise.
And I think you were gonna feed him, once we did proceed, you were gonna feed him a lot of information and we,
Statutes and
yeah.
all that from anything he wants, yeah.
So we will keep as we move forward. I guess I'm asking, I've got the letter here in front of me, I'm asking permission from the board to sign the letter for the approval of his, bringing him on. And after that, he's going to bring information to us, and as he does, it'll be brought forth to the whole board.
Yeah, I think that's important.
So everybody,
And a note, LCPA technically has said, we're all in favor of trying to figure out whatever the best. I was in that meeting and I think, yeah, great, sounds like a great opportunity for us to use some knowledge, don't reinvent the wheel, so he's already done this with another county in Kansas. He did say there are major differences between Kansas and Missouri, and can't say Missouri specifically. He said, don't get your hopes up, because Missouri is way ahead of Kansas on use of port authorities is what is one of the statements he said.
Yeah.
But he ironically was also working right now with Omaha or Lincoln,
Somebody interesting.
one of those two bigger cities
I believe it's almost.
to create their own port authority to compete with Kansas City. So. It's kind of a sidebar, he was.
Interestingly enough, we had a discussion with somebody yesterday, as a matter of fact, who talked about the Port Authority and assumed, like most people do, we're talking about ports.
Yeah.
And
Same like that.
explanation to, he's with us today, but, we basically use the structure of the Port Authority to create, much like Safford County did, a mechanism where we can use the strengths of the Port Authority, even though we don't technically have a port. And,
He had a term for that, there was like a legal term that it didn't mean water port, it meant something
Yeah.
else.
He's an interesting guy and he's got a lot of experience. So.
Well, this may be of a value to some of our elected officials at the
Yes.
state level.
That's what I was going to
It's
say.
that if we can get two or three of them, I mean, we're paying for it, so they're getting free.
Yeah.
If Kansas is behind the 8 ball.
Yeah.
There's no reason we should be.
That's the best thing. That's absolutely right.
Well, there was something in the statute, the Kansas statute that they changed, back in the nineties or 2000s to weaken the ability of the port authorities, and he knew all
He
about
knew,
that.
he immediately pointed to it and said, well, that's when the legislature did something, that specific term, they basically wiped out, because we would. Leavenworth County was the only port authority left, so they just wiped it like out of the books that you could have all this authority to do things. And he said, that's gotta get reestablished before Kansas is ever gonna be able to be independent.
and I think we have local legislators at state level that support,
Yeah, they're running with it.
put it that
Yeah, I think so.
back into play. Yeah. I think Jeff would,
absolutely.
that's right, no question about that.
Is that something that is being clamored for by other counties and other cities?
Stafford, they're very interested in that. In
We have six, just as a reminder to everybody, we have six in Kansas, only two are active right now. So perhaps if we, the other four, reach out to the other
He
four.
kind of talked about if we could play it as a, Kansas is so far behind Missouri, you could gather support throughout the state.
Right, you caught my
There you
teeth.
go.
Said,
Yeah. He was fairly open, that was a huge holdup
Yeah,
of Kansas is, that's like one of the major things that Kansas is truly behind Missouri on by leaps and bounds behind.
Well, they beat us in football too, so.
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
What happened? Yeah, I didn't even follow that with it.
Brian, would Commerce be behind, the Department of Commerce be behind? The,
They would be one of the people we'd have to get support from. But ultimately, the legislators have to vote to change the statute.
Yeah.
To add it in. But even if it takes a year to get on everybody's radar, then the next session, you have everybody educated that they would potentially look at some sort of
Yeah,
change.
you gotta bring attention to it, yeah.
Good. I make a motion that we approve the engagement letter for Rouse Frets.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? I will sign it before I leave the office today. Then moving on to regional transportation plan, I don't think there's much covered there. Everybody did a great job yesterday. We had fair representation, though we did learn a few things about representation. We certainly didn't have enough.
Big school buses next year, I'm telling you.
I'm sure, but if we'd have bought our bus load, I don't know where they would have put us.
They were so, that was terrible plan, come on.
Kudos to Baser. They did a terrific job down there with their presentation and their representation. I was very impressed with what they did. Shawnee equally impressed me. So we can use that as a teaching lesson or learning lesson for next year for the rest of us out in Leavenworth County. We need to make sure that we attend that. That brings up a question as far as I'm concerned. Since Mr. Cos has gone back to private life, I'm looking for recommendations from people who, as to who would take his position, not as a Leavenworth representative necessarily, but who would take his position on the regional transportation study, somebody that sort of.
Oh, wow, yeah.
She gonna talk to,
We talked to him last time we met, we talked about Bill Ivan.
Bill, no.
Yeah, I haven't decided to say anything to him yet, but he's really, I've been impressed with him all along, and he yesterday, all along. He'd be one way, one at least ask, and then.
He said he would do it.
to
Incredible.
Yeah, he is.
goings on, yeah.
Honestly, when he presents to the county, it's like talking to Greg. The way he's so detailed
Yeah.
on everything that's going across, so.
He's been here
I-
all the time.
If we can afford to, I'll ask Mark, first of all, then I'll ask Mark to see if they would let him go that direction, because I can't think of anybody else that can handle it like that. Not because he's on the county, just because I know how he will do it and how Collins did such a great job.
He did a great job with my group when he was doing his thing.
That was Greg's recommendation, was Bill Noel, but I was looking to see whether anybody, other names. Okay, we take it down or something and catch you back unawares.
I've been talking to him a lot lately. He wants stuff, so I'll be talking to him again, so we'll see.
Okay.
I'll bring it up to him. I should have done it last time, but I wasn't sure that was the first one I talked to. So if everybody's okay with that, I'll talk to Bill.
Absolutely.
And that goes without saying, I saw your eyes light up, I know you two were talking, we're short members right now.
Yeah, we're not, yeah.
We've got a plan, but.
We're
I don't think we
discussing.
need to discuss it
No,
here.
no. But it's one of those things, we are short of people.
Right, we're trying to try to fill it as soon as we can.
Okay. No pressure, but tomorrow will be fine.
Doug, I have one more item before
Okay.
we move on to
Go
the
ahead.
next. So I had a meeting with, Todd Hackle, he called, and he works with, Union Pacific. He wanted to inform me that Union Pacific and Norfolk Southern are gonna apply to merge. They're gonna put that application in next month in November. They are asking for letters of support. Mary, would you mind doing that? Yeah, and I have not changed everything on it. He provided a template. And you may need some more time, but he would like to know if he can get a letter of support from the board, by October 31st. If that's possible. Now, he has informed me that, some of the benefits of these two rails, merging would be, the removal of interchanges that exist. They would improve the access, increase the speed, open up new markets for existing businesses, especially big for Heartland grain producers. And so if you want some more information, I can provide that. He provided a letter with some more information about it. But this is the template he provided, and if you'd like, I could read it, or if you want.
They have it in their pack.
Oh, yes, that's right. I asked Mary to put that. Thank you, Mary. It is in your packet, board members, so it was a last minute addition today. So I was hoping that either, you'd like to have it before the 31st so they can include it in their packet. Do you think you are ready to make a decision, or do you want a little bit more time?
I don't know. Well, I was at a milling conference, which kind of leads to what Lisa was talking about at the grain trade. And they were talking about the benefits of it. And there was also Canadian people there, and they were saying. But there was for and against it, so I don't know either way, but there's a lot of talk out there about it. It'd be nice if we did support it, if we could get someone that could help us.
Well, that would be my comment.
Yeah.
I've sat through many conversations with the NSF in this group for years and trying to get assistance, and I've never seen anything. I'm not opposed to it. I don't know enough to vote yes or no. But the connections that I've had with railroad is difficult
Yes.
at best. Well, no, the answer is no. I mean, needs
Or
something,
it's a
their
crazy
answer
amount
is
of money.
no. Or give us $1 gazillion.
Yeah.
And very little support. So we need rail, and I think you look at Lisa's documents and how many people wanna come in here and they want rail, we have no access. And to provide, our job is to provide economic development, industrial development, growth, and create jobs, that rail would help, but we don't have any help on that side. This is just my opinion. I would, does this letter get us a seat at a table that almost? And I would say no, because I've heard them say, I mean, they look you right in the eye and call you all kinds of names, then say no. And that's for years. So, I don't know, I don't know whether it's our place to promote or not promote it.
Do we just spend? Take the easy way out, just somebody can't make their timeline by October 31st.
I think when you hurry something down the line, I feel uncomfortable when I get hurried like this. Just my own personal feeling. I know I do hear rail and I work with Lansing and a few other places when they're talking about it, but when I just get something in front of me, I just got a lot of questions.
Yeah, I think I'd rather have a representative. Personally, I'd like to talk to one of the representatives and go through age old line, what's in it for us.
How will this make our community better?
Yeah.
Benefit us?
So I guess that we just need to talk to us.
What, can they take away, does anybody know if they have any UP work rail spurs that they can take away, cause we pissed them off? I mean, they don't have anything in Leavenworth, I don't
So
think.
there's one over, it's on the east
Is it-
side of, in the city of, no, it's no, in the county. East side, close. Oh. I'm sorry, Maddie's messaging us.
But I don't,
It's Argonne or, it's a, what is that name of that? There's a actual.
You have to be careful,
Spur
from
there.
this area for a long time, East Leavenworth.
It's in Missouri.
In Missouri,
Okay,
Missouri.
yeah,
so this one,
East side, east side of eleven.
that could be confusing, but, you haven't lived here long enough to remember the Cherokee Bridge.
so I guess it would be actually closer to Lansing. isn't it?
is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
that's where it is, but it's out in.
Oh,
it's out here.
For those elevators, you know.
Yeah, the elevators, that's it. There is a spur there. Well,
They have shut that elevator down, just FYI, there's no grain being transported out there,
They were looking for money,
so.
yeah.
What's that for?
Yeah.
That's the only UP line I know of, it's one line right along there, so, yeah.
so officially, I'm sure Todd Hackman from Union Pacific, and he has been probably the most involved person I've ever experienced regarding that had anything to do with rail. We've called on him for some help, and he was very, he took the time and explained how a spur can be developed, what the cost is, all that. And he called me out of, on this, so I'm sure he's gonna call back is what I'm trying to say. So I'd like to have an official response. So from what I'm hearing is true, you would like to know further before you write
Benefits.
how the benefits Leavenworth County specifically.
Yeah.
Okay.
what's your opinion, Lisa? I mean, you're
I
running
know-
the show from face to face with these
Yes.
people most of the time, we're not. The only
I
time
agree
I'm
with you,
involved with it when
Chris.
they show up, so you.
I agree with you. I don't see the benefit for Leavenworth County in this situation. It's gonna help other companies, but I'm not sure who and where those companies are. So I would agree with you. I don't feel like we know enough about.
What if our response is, and this would be a possible response, is that what our job is to create opportunities for our communities. How does this create an opportunity for our community? And if he can give us an answer that is legitimate,
Hmm.
and we can think about it,
Put it in writing.
well,
Yeah.
That'll
Witnesses.
limit what he says.
Well, but maybe he's got some sheet
Yeah.
that's got the FAQ, what, how does this affect everybody, and we do send that to us.
Yeah. It was something.
If we give it a time, we give it a time, if not,
Yeah, we just need more information more than anything else. We can't do bullying, nobody sign in support of it.
And that's probably at the federal level, they're gonna throw these
Yeah, he did
out,
mention.
not at the state level or local level. They're all, it's a federal DOJ and commerce and everything else.
He mentioned that the president of the United States is involved in having meetings.
So
Running this.
the merger is not, whether you send a letter or not is not going to impact whether the merger goes through. All that does is how quickly that guy's going to pick up the phone again next time you need him. So if you say, no, we're not going to send you a letter. And next time you guys call him, he's gonna say, well, I'm not gonna play ball with you guys, or
Good point.
I'll get
Yeah.
mine.
The other side, that, what kind of ball they played with it
Right.
the last 30 years.
But that's not, I mean, so railroads have more authority than God in this country, so I mean, that's not something you're ever going to change. The only thing you can do is impact the local, how quickly your local representatives are going to be willing to work with you, and if you put up roadblocks, and then they're just gonna say, well, okay.
Well, what's just asking for more information? I don't think that's what it will. I think we're just interested, but we just need to know more information. All we've got is this, that's not enough to go on.
Okay, it's just a letter, again, for what it's worth. But
Well, I will ask him, I will state to him that your job as a board is to create opportunities for Leavenworth County, and you would like to know a little bit more about what opportunities this merger might provide for Leavenworth County.
It's not saying no, we're just asking.
Right. But just be ready, because since the deadline is the 31st, I may be sending you information, asking for you to respond right away. Okay, thank you.
I guess just sign off as the board
Yeah.
president. Once I get you guys approval, I can begin from the office, that's all.
Yeah, we got 8 more days.
Anything else, Lisa? Okay.
Oh.
The educational campaign. You wanna cover that?
Yes, I would. Would you mind pulling up that? So as you all know, we are in the middle, actually 38% through our education campaign. This is designed to educate the community about what the Port Authority does, how they impact the community, and the importance they have to this community. There you go. Mary's pulling up we have monthly meetings with the Golden Shuttle Agency, the company that you all have contracted with to conduct this education campaign. And so this campaign includes social media. It also includes some articles that they're submitting, things like that. So one of the things that you all had, informed me is that there was concern about some of the negative comments that were appearing, in response to social media. And so we brought that up to them, and what they told us is, please remember our first conversation with them is what they told me, that they informed us there will be that this is part of the process, that negative comments, are an important, part of the process that bring the topics of discussion to light. They improve exposure. What else? They also give information to the Golden Shovel Agency as to what issues need to be brought up, so they can create content based on those comments. So they're just asking everybody to hold tight and understand that this is, it's hard to see those comments. However, Kenna, who is the person at Golden Shovel, who is kind of focused on the social media, and in fact, he told me that the comments weren't really as a result of or on social media, but more on the ads. So, and I have copies, she provided some screenshots of comments that were made and suggestions that they have as far as what to do about it. Their suggestion is a lot of it is just no response is probably the best response. And then they will start creating content based on that information.
Lisa, I think Harlan brought it up that no one was answering the questions. And it wasn't even the negative things, it was just general questions. Is Golden Shovel gonna do that?
Well, that's one of the things that she's provided now. She's provided a screenshot, several screenshots of those comments. And then she's got suggestions here, and if you'd like, I can go through them with you or send them out.
Who's gonna do the work to answer the,
She's suggesting we don't answer them then and there. Instead, they will create content based on that
to answer the question?
to respond, not in direct
Right.
response, but to produce. As a result of that information.
Well, I think as long as they're aware of it and, you know,
Yes.
these are the issues that we're having.
I would hate to get into go down the rabbit hole where
Right.
it starts answering questions. With individuals and create another storm, which is what we hired these people to help us walk us through.
Okay,
We have a meeting with them, by the way, on the 29th.
yes.
Anybody wants to join us here, say what?
Yeah, your board members have all been invited. You guys get the invites to the monthly update meetings and then also to this particular one, and I'll share that purpose for just a minute. But I was just gonna let you know the update, so they share, you know, what social media has been produced. For the upcoming month, they'll ask me or whoever's on that meeting to approve, to look over, make any suggestions, they'll make changes, and then, those will be the social media posts that they post the next. They also have, put together some, articles, and they're gonna do those monthly. Then one has already gone out, that was for October, it was a county, kind of talking about economic development in the county. And then, every month after, they'll do one for each of the 4 cities. The letter to the editor is something that they're gonna put out, or they're gonna suggest that we put out. I have not had a chance to review that yet, so, we'll get through that here soon. Plan going forward, because we talked about at our last meeting that, hey, didn't we talk about a second polling? And they said yes, but they don't suggest doing that before January. They want to get through a little bit more of this education campaign before they would approach the idea of another survey. And the reason for another survey, a second survey, is to see if the needle has been moved, if things have changed. And then it looks like they would wrap up the campaign in February. Which was, you know, just if in the time frame that if you all decide to pursue going before a vote for a, you know, portion of a mill or something, then we would have the information needed. And the next meeting, our next meeting is Wednesday, the 29th at 2 p.m. You have that invite in your email box. That is to talk about that second poll. It's not a typical one, but that will be discussed that, so.
And they're
Oh.
crafting from what discussions, they're crafting what they're doing, it changes. It's a moving target in that regard, so based on the comments we're getting, things like that, they'll change. And that's why we hired them, they know that. Right, I would follow my Facebook campaign like that, I'm sure we got anybody level that could market it any better now, not get into a fight. But that's what we hired them for. So, but I encourage anybody who wants to come to that meeting, please be there, because they ask good questions. Everybody doesn't give the answers that she and I are capable of answering. I hope we certainly don't represent this whole group.
This is a dashboard that they provide at our update meeting, so every month, this is September, you can see kind of the impressions, the reach, the clicks, and the click-through rate. I did compare it to August, we only have August and September to compare to. Each one of those numbers are down a little bit, however, the age distribution is the same, and then I did notice that on the women versus men, the gender distribution, the women's side is up 63% from about, it was 50-50 before, I think, so.
And I find that interaction interesting, actually a good thing. If maybe not for this election, but maybe to the future, in the sense that we were relying on our voters to come from, shall we say, more mature group. Positive voters for this, and at least we are getting the other groups behind them to contribute or to offer an opinion, good or bad, which is good. That means they're talking about it, which is what we intended, win or lose on this campaign. My opinion. Anybody have any questions then? Once again, I encourage everybody to come over here on 29th. Or contact they have with somebody besides Lisa and I as well.
And you have a virtual option as well.
Yes. Any other questions? All right, move forward to our affiliated partners. Let's see who we have on. Maddie. You still there?
They had to jump off.
Oh, sorry.
He is saying in the chat, they appreciate everybody that voted for the, Basin project at the council meeting. They appreciate everybody.
They did a great job. Much about that.
But Dan is on, I think Dan is gonna take George's spot.
Okay, Mr. Porter.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. This is Dan Porter, Assistant City Manager for the City of Tonganoxie. You may be aware, we had an excellent grand opening ceremony this week at the DSM Firmenich facility in the Tonganoxie Business Park. Mr. Habjan was there. Mr. Donnelly gave a great speech as part of the remarks at the event. And it was really incredible to participate in that and see such a transformational project come to fruition after many years of work and by many different parties. So we were very appreciative of how that event went and excited about promoting the city's business park and the merits of investing in Leavenworth County like that. I don't know, Mr. Donnelly, if you want to add anything about it, or Brian?
Not specific to that. We had a chance to talk about it a little bit in advance, so
Oh, okay.
anything else for Ed?
I would just add that it's state of the art on the inside. They're measuring things down to the half of a gram.
Mhm.
Make sure that their mixes are exactly, when they say they're giving you a 50-pound bag, it will be within a half a gram of 50 pounds when they send it out the door. And they were using air things to vibrate the sides of their bins to make sure there was no dust build up. It was pretty amazing.
Certainly is. Yeah, thank you. Only other update I have from the city of Tonganoxie, we have our annual Spooktacular event this Friday night from 4 to 6 p.m. in downtown Tonganoxie along 4th Street. 2,000 attendees, rain or shine event. Looks like rain could happen, but we're excited to have that again this year. It's always a very popular occasion. So feel free to come visit if you can.
Just one comment, Dan, if you don't mind, we had bid openings for our sewer upgrades.
Oh,
And it
yeah.
came significantly higher, so we had to do some shuffling and advance, had good participation, a lot of people. Participated in the bid, made bids, but it was significantly higher than estimates.
And there's in that.
So we're out rerunning that, but we are gonna still, the council will approve to keep moving forward with the project in a couple of ways, so. I think that's important. Yeah. That's it. Thank you.
Anything else, Ann?
No, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thanks for filling in. Appreciate it. Got a couple people here from Leavenworth. Both,
I'll
either?
defer to our city manager.
We've had, thanks to Lisa, we've had actually a few promising leads on the business park the last couple of weeks. In fact, we have a meeting, I think, coming up with one of them, so. Thanks to Lisa for providing us some, it seems like things have been the most busy, at least in terms of activity out there since I've been there in here, not something up on a year now, so. We our RFP for our housing study closed a couple weeks ago. We went out for RFP for a housing study a few months ago, and we only had one applicant, and it was not a qualified business, so we went back out for RFP, and this time, for whatever reason, we had 20, so. Now, so I don't know what happened, but thankfully, many of those are qualified in local firms, so we're, I think, narrowing them down. The purpose of that housing study will be to help us develop an RHID policy, find, among other things, to help us revitalize housing downtown, things like that. So gonna move forward with that. So anybody who's been wondering where, I know RHID's been in the news a lot lately, wondering where Leavenworth is with that. That's where we are. Quick reminder, for those who may be interested, our business symposium, this is going to be the 3rd annual, is coming up November 3rd. It is free, and if you register ahead of time, you get a free lunch. We have a really cool guest speaker. One business will be awarded a 2-week social media training course through Kansas Community College. So if you have anyone, I think so far we only have 65 people sign up and we have capacity for up to 100. So please, if you know anyone who wants to sign up, if you guys want to sign up, please do so. I know Penny would love to hear from you guys. And then finally, last time we met, I mentioned that we were working on a Star Bonds project for Leavenworth Mall area. And I mentioned that we were waiting any day for them to announce that they had closed on that property. And I'm here to tell you, I meant that literally. It could be any day. We're still waiting on that. So as far as we know, the project is still moving forward, but the holdup is in negotiations over the sale of the property, which we have no control over. But I keep hearing it's going to happen any day now, but that's been 60 days of a meeting. So we'll see.
Will you make your results of your housing study available?
Sure.
Will that be
Yes,
available?
absolutely.
I think there'll be interesting information for the
It
whole
will.
county to see.
It will be interesting.
Now, that piece just for me, morning, but else, I suppose would be, that's just the piece outside the old wall, right? Everything down the old Sears.
It's all of it. In fact, there are existing businesses that will get wrapped up into the Star Bonds district. Plus, it's actually gonna be a bifurcated site. The old Abel's Field will be a part of that. The same guy's looking to redevelop that as well.
Okay.
So it'll be a little different. So long way, I mean, you still have to get Department of Commerce to sign off on it, and you have to get the bonds sold and all that. So long way to go, but at least it's a nibble.
Hey, any news?
Good, great.
As far as the business symposium, we have a lot of businesses that come to that and learn from that, so if you have businesses you wanna send over, check it out. We do have a lot of good information and it's good for the businesses to get together and talk in between sessions and stuff.
Is there anything we could do as support authority to support someone? Try to show.
If you know business owners who
Yeah,
in the
you wanna
area,
come.
send them. They don't have to just be level with businesses.
Yeah, we're happy to, anything that helps the county
Yeah.
helps us all.
Sure. So that again, it's free. So,
Yeah.
you know, nobody has to pay anything, and it's just in the morning from 8:30 to 12:30, I think. With a free lunch afterwards if you register, so. If you know anybody who's interested, just send them,
Go to the website.
yeah, or put them in touch with Penny, and either one is fine. Penny would, I guarantee, bend over backwards to get somebody on there, so. That's all I have.
I don't have anything else.
Josh.
Hello. We have our spooky center, to tag on to what Dan was saying about their retreat. We have our spooky center on Saturday. For the purposes of this group here, I'll start with the bad news. The bad news is that we are de-annexing this property next week. The Englehart property that came in to get developed, is now leaving the city. It was a conditional annexation and we are, honoring that agreement. So, they asked it to be removed from the, so we're doing that, but good news. We are closing, we're gonna finish up a CID project, get the documents in line for a CID project on 6th for Lansing Town Center. And then, to tag on to the housing study, we are in the process of getting bids on our comprehensive plan. I'm kind of excited. We had a pretty decent return on those that are RFQ type of thing. As we're looking for a planning firm and some interesting names, and I'm going to be interested to see what comes down the pike. And that'll be a project. Hopefully we can get done in 26. It might run into 27. We'll see what they submit. I asked for 12 months because I want to be in and out. But also we want some decent public engagement. So that's good. That might influence. Anyway, that's
Anybody else online that we missed? Ken, I'm sorry.
That's all right, I'm staying in the corner, RHIDs. It's talking about that, we finally came to a figure to vote to get one. Coming the way that statute set up, and you don't even know the school district, read those things, it's been a challenge. If you ever want to change the county meetings on those, it's it's a challenge to, try to get that. I'm a firm believer in RHIDs. If not to the extreme, I think you look at each one of them and you vote on to one on the opposite of the road. You got a 32 vote and school went ahead, so I'm sure that'll be coming down your way. Pretty soon, so that's a positive thing. I know I heard some other RHIDs that are coming through. To me, it's a shame that one entity can stop. These things, that's what the statute said right now, so we did get one through, a lot of debate. A lot of filibustering by one candidate, by one person, but we finally did get it through, and I was glad to see that come through.
And to follow up on that, 198 units, plating is done, we just need signature copies now. And then, another project I'm excited about is we're working on another housing, development. But the city is kind of taking an active role in this. So we've got some city property that we're looking to get developed. More to come on that, but there was a work session on it.
That's a good way to approach it, I watched that, so, but nothing will come after. Yep. That's all I have.
Okay, intentionally.
No, that's all right, I don't mind.
Forget. Anybody else got anything to add? Make a motion to adjourn. Second. All in favor?
I.
Ross, you have a strong back.
There's a lot going on, that's good, I like to hear that.
Yes.
Let's do it, especially planning and
Before you get away.
long-term planning.
Awesome.